people want as the next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh? Do they want Gehlot? Do they want Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Jyotiraditya Scindia, Kamal Nath? Who do they want? Here it is. At this moment, the numbers for the preferred Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. 36% of the respondents in the India Today Access My India data say they want Shivraj Singh Chauhan as the next Chief Minister. Remember, he's been Chief Minister for almost 18 years. 36% still want him as Chief Minister. Kamal Nath, who's fighting harder than he has for the large part of his political career, 30% of the respondents saying they want Kamal Nath as the Chief Minister. 10% saying anybody else from the Congress. Jyotiraditya Scindia came in at 3, any candidate from the BJP at 8, Digvijay Singh at 1. But it's unfair to the others because they weren't really projected. This was a battle, Kamal Nath versus Jyotiraditya Scindia, that's 36 versus 30. So that's the first set of data on your screen right now. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Rajdeep, still the preferred choice for the position of next Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh.
Quite remarkable because he's been in politics for 20 years. This could be his, 5th term as Chief Minister, elected 4 times, once of course in the middle of a term. But it'll be remarkable if he's able to do this. I don't think any other, I'm trying to think who's the other, from North India, whether anyone from the Hindi heartland has won so many elections in a row. Nitish Kumar is someone who might come close to that. You know, these are 2 leaders who've been there for 2 decades. And there's a similarity between him and Shivraj Singh and Ashok Gehlot. Nobody gets angry with them. You know, you may be tired with them, but you don't get angry with Shivraj ji. I call them both the Amol Palekars of Indian politics. Dekho, Amitabh Bachchan ka bhi era hota hai, Amol Palekar ka bhi zamana hota hai.
One more similarity.
Very, very genial people.
Yeah.
You know, he'll be nice to you, aapko bhi peda dega, apne rival ko bhi dega. In fact, that's been the accusation that he's never really taken on his opponents. Similarly with Mr. Gehlot. And therefore, and dare I say, sometimes women prefer the softer, gentler politician. I'm saying something that might get me into trouble one day, but women prefer softer, Mr. Modi may be different, the machismo of Mr. Modi. But the softer, gentler...
You're saying he's not soft and gentle?
No. These two politicians, Shivraj Singh ji and Ashok Gehlot, I found on my travels...
You know, what I really like is the mansplaining while I'm sitting here on what women really want.
No,
हमने तो कुछ बोला ही नहीं.
What women, he's telling me what women really want.
Can I just add? I traveled through Madhya Pradesh and whenever you spoke to women...
No, I'm kidding. Yeah.
They never had a negative word to say about Mr. Shivraj Singh Chauhan. When you travel through Rajasthan, you don't hear women having a negative word to say about Ashok Gehlot. I keep maintaining Mahila voter.
Let Preeti tell us what women really want.
Please do. You agree that
really want?
No, what I loved was that I'm sitting right next to Rajdeep and Rajdeep is turning around and saying, women want a softer gentleman. That's...
No, someone who they feel is compassionate in difficult times. Okay. I maintain last 5 years have been very tough for most Indians, especially at the bottom of the...
Now she interrupted you, but she's not telling us what women want.
But you're not saying about another similarity between Shivraj Singh Chauhan and Ashok Gehlot.
No, I've been asked of what women want in Madhya Pradesh. I'll be very clear. Women want the Ladli Behna scheme. I went into Madhya Pradesh thinking with what most pollsters predicted was a BJP edge and what I saw was a Congress edge. And what I saw was this affinity of women where they didn't know Shivraj, they did not know Modi, but what they knew was pool and they knew 1250 rupiah, which was coming on the 10th of every month in their bank accounts.
Okay.
So that's what I thought.
Let's now go region by region across Madhya Pradesh. And I want to take you through what the seat share and vote share numbers are looking like. So we will start with Bhopal. In the 20 seats of Bhopal, which includes the city of Bhopal, Raisen, Sehor and Vidisha, which is where Sushma Swaraj used to come from. 12 leads for the BJP, 8 for the Congress, 51% vote share for the BJP versus 42. This is where the Congress and Kamal Nath think people are bored, they want change, that people are fed up with Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Well, at least in the first region for which we have put out numbers, that doesn't seem to be the case.
This is a traditional BJP-dominated area. So, you know, there are seats that the BJP hasn't lost here in 4 consecutive elections. So, Madhya Bharat, Bhopal is BJP country.
But this time they are losing 2 seats compared.
And in fact, they're losing 2 seats compared to last time, but they're still, this is a dominant region. So, actually, these numbers would say some worry for the BJP if you look at these numbers.
Okay, let's now come to the second region. So, the first region, quite clearly for the BJP, 12 versus 8. I want to come to Nimar now. There are 18 seats in Nimar. The BJP had won 6 of them last time. The Congress had won 10. So let's take you through what's happening in Nimar. 12 for the BJP, 6 for the Congress. The BJP is up 6. The Congress is down 4. A 3% gap in vote share in Nimar. Remember, in the last assembly elections, different regions in Madhya Pradesh had voted differently, and therefore it seemed like there were 6 separate elections happening. In the first 2 regions, we've seen the BJP
Rahul, here this is
well.
bad news for the Congress because this is a large tribal belt. Congress did very well there, but remember this also includes Khargone, where there was communal disturbance, where there was a bulldozer Raj used. But tribal belt, Congress losing in this region is bad news for the Congress. They would expect to pick up seats in Nimar.
Okay.
And it's also the area of Kishore Kumar. So it's a particularly favorite area.
To make a point.
Yeah, obviously that means there is no farmers' unrest, and Rajdeep said, there were a lot of communal polarization that had taken place in this region, and BJP seems to be benefiting from it.
Rahul, your initial thoughts on the numbers?
I agree with Rajdeep. I think if in this region BJP is making gains, then Congress should be a little worried.
Okay, so Congress should start to get a little worried about the first set of numbers that we put out. Let's now go across to Bundelkhand. In the 26 seats of Bundelkhand, remember Bundelkhand, the BJP had done very well last time. So they're hoping to do well in Bundelkhand again. Let's take you through what's happening in Bundelkhand. In Bundelkhand, on these 26 seats, the BJP, which had 14 the last time, is up now at 18. The Congress, which was at 10, is down to 8. And there's a 5% gap in vote share between the BJP and the Congress. 45 versus 40. The BJP off to a rocking start in Madhya Pradesh. Their first 3 regions doing smashingly well for them.
And Rahul, that 8% is critical. Remember, Samajwadi Party has a presence here. They wanted an alliance. Kamal Nath said, no, I'm not going in for an alliance. Many of these smaller parties in Bundelkhand were ready to tie up with the Congress. There is a UP effect, border to UP. So I'm not surprised with the numbers.
6 of those seats in Bundelkhand last time around, the Samajwadi Party had polled more than the winning margin. So one can well imagine if they had tied up with the Samajwadi Party, what could it have meant for the Congress?
Bad news for the Congress again.
I now want to come to the most significant region politically, which is the Gwalior-Chambal belt, which is where Jyotiraditya Scindia comes from. This is where there's a massive rebellion in the Congress ranks, and Jyotiraditya Scindia and 22 MLAs switched over and joined the BJP. In this area, we want to take you through whether the BJP is doing well or not. Remember, the conventional political punditry said the Congress was doing very well in Chambal. The India Today, Access My India numbers show that doesn't seem to be the case. Jyotiraditya Scindia would be delighted when he sees the BJP at 19, which is up 12 from the last time. The Congress at 14, it is 12 down from the last time. A 3% gap between the BJP and the Congress. Rashid Kidwai, you come from Bhopal. It seems to be turning on the track of Bhopal. This ball seems to be going away from the Congress quite badly. Even in Gwalior-Chambal, where the Congress was convinced that infighting, factionalism, rebels, they'll kill the BJP sitting at 19 seats.
Precisely. I think this is a very significant and a turning point. If this happens, then there is no hope for the Congress in Madhya Pradesh.
I'll tell you here, Rahul, what happened last time? You had Jyotiraditya Scindia part of the Congress. So 26 out of 34, remember, included a lot of Scindia supporters. It was a united Congress in Gwalior-Chambal. Now what happens? Jyotiraditya Scindia leaves. He leaves with his supporters. Kamal Nath, Digvijay Singh claim Jyotiraditya is a Gaddar. But the truth of the matter is BJP very quickly realizes they're in trouble here. They bring in Narendra Tomar. They bring in all the heavyweights here. They say, look, it can't just be Jyotiraditya Scindia. Let's get MPs in, let's get union ministers in, let's create a mahal in this area. If these numbers are right, I think it's almost game, set and match for the BJP, because these are the parts that the Congress needs to win.
But the question of allegiance was already answered, Rajdeep, after the defection in the by-elections. It was very clear that the BJP came back.
Yeah, so but a by-election, you would have thought, you're right, but a by-election is often different to an assembly election. In a by-election, usually the party in power tends to win. When you are fighting an assembly election, this is the real test. Is Jyotiraditya Scindia and his supporters Gaddars, or are there people who have a connect with,
Rajdeep,
with the masses?
Jyotiraditya Scindia at some very late sabha that he was addressing. It must have been about like close to 1 a.m. I remember. He couldn't speak. But a body language of a leader tells you so much. He came back from that stage and he spoke to us despite of not being able to construct a sentence because his voice was so bad. You could see on his face that he knew that they were doing well in that area.
He has never worked harder than this. This is the one difference. BJP ने बहुत काम करवाया है ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया से last 6. If these numbers are right, not just Scindia, Narendra Singh Tomar in his bastion.
Who might be in trouble? I feel who might be in trouble.
If these numbers are there, my sense is the BJP has been able to lift a lot of support.
But the Congress doing well comes from the Bhind Morena area, where from Morena is Mr. Tomar from the seat of Dimani.
Remember, for a long time...
But the OBCs seem to be... If these numbers are right, OBCs are moving away from the Congress in Madhya Pradesh. Without OBC support, you cannot win Madhya Pradesh. And in Gwalior-Chambal, if the OBCs start drifting away from you, you're in trouble.
For a long time in the campaign, the BJP knew that they were behind. And suddenly, one fine day, I started getting very excited calls from very senior leaders in the BJP who said, we've turned it around. Bas ho gaya, Madhya Pradesh is through. They were fully confident because they realized that they were able to beat anti-incumbency and pull this election around. This happened literally weeks before polling. It didn't happen, say, months before polling. Just days before polling, they were able to get the momentum going for themselves in Madhya Pradesh.
And
this
also,
would be an epic botch-up by the Congress if after so many terms of Shivraj Singh Chauhan being in power, 18 years, they're still able to lose and the BJP is able to win.
And who was the man they sent into, who was the general they sent into Madhya Pradesh? The Home Minister. This entire Madhya Pradesh, you see, Amit Shah has had some wins, some losses. He's not some magician Chanakya who wins every election. He lost Bengal to Mamta. But here he went in. I know some of the people that he used, they were told to do micromanagement right down to the level. And you're right. I think the Congress after Karnataka thought that they were in the 40th over and they were cruising. That the last 10 overs to jeetna hi hai, Karnataka jeet gaya hai, usi momentum mein chal do. And Kamal Nath made a few announcements, especially on for women, 1,500 rupees. The BJP responded. And the BJP responded quickly enough. Ladli Behna started being, pushed in from March itself.
The X factor of this election.
But the truth of the matter is, I think if these numbers are right, it is Congress in the 40th over taking an election for granted and suddenly realizing Amit Shah aa gaya as your death bowler for the BJP.
No, and Congress strategists also who worked with Rahul Gandhi were getting increasingly frustrated with Kamal Nath saying he's not listening, he's doing his own thing, he's making mistakes, he thinks he knows it all, he's not listening to what the data is saying, he's not listening to what the surveys are saying. So there's growing frustration even within the Congress that they didn't seem to think that they were doing the right things, making the right moves.
Actually, Mr. Nath's whole strategy was, ये election Janta और भाजपा के बीच में है. So that people will throw them out, and it seems it's not happening.
Okay. And sadly, so you didn't see it on ground. Kamal Nath might be the king of Chhindwara, and he is when you go to his own constituency. But outside that,
Preeti, but there was a lot of fatigue factor was there. Fatigue was a real thing. अब हम मतलब उदासीन हो गए, मतलब बहुत time.
But Mr. Kidwai, Kamal Nath doesn't seem to sadly have that kind of charisma of even a Shivraj of the long time that he's been there. He just doesn't inspire, he just doesn't inspire that kind of confidence.
It's the only state where BJP had a face. Rajasthan they didn't, Chhattisgarh they didn't.
No, even in
a face.
Madhya Pradesh,
but that's the only face that Congress had a face.
They didn't really project that face.
No, but he's been there forever. He's even whether they projected him or not, he is Mama
I now want to come.
This Mamaji word is very interesting. Mamaji kaun hai? Mamaji hai. I come back to it. You feel a sense of with Shivraj Singh Chauhan, who's faced several, he's Teflon-like. Itne charges kabhi hue hain, unke parivar par hue hain, biwi par hue. He's never been affected. Vyapam happened. Shivraj has been able to rise above it all because people said, "Nahi, Mama ji hai." So he's got a comfort factor.
Let's come to Mahakoshal. 47 seats in Mahakoshal. This is where the Congress would hope to do very well. This is also where Chhindwara is, which is the bastion of Kamal Nath. And the Congress had done
Gupta's home state.
Congress had done very well here last time. The BJP is up 14 seats from the last time in Mahakoshal, projected to bag 32 out of the 47 seats in Kamal Nath's bastion. The Congress down from 28 to 15, 13 down from the last time, a 5% gap in vote share between the BJP and the Congress. 47 plays 42, game set and match already. You have Malwa still to go. It doesn't matter what Malwa says, because in the first 6 regions itself, the BJP has literally hit the ball in Madhya Pradesh out of the park.
Now, this
Shivraj Singh Chauhan emerging
the tribal
as...
vote, maximum tribal vote in Mahakoshal.
This is the state, or this is the region of Madhya Pradesh, large tribal vote, and you're seeing it in Nimad, you've now seen it in Mahakoshal. If these trends continue, it shows that the tribals here, unlike in Rajasthan or to some extent in Chhattisgarh, here are moving back to the BJP. And it'll be interesting
Also
to see whether it was Ladli Behna that worked for them or something
But Rajdeep,
else.
also what's blunted the force here of the Congress is to field the likes of Mr. Patel from Narsinghpur, Mr. Khulaste from Nivas. Now, these are sitting cabinet ministers who, where the OBC is concerned, the Lodi OBC where Mr. Patel comes from, then be it the tribals where Mr. Khulaste comes from. So they've taken that vote and influenced 2 seats around them.
Yeah, the tribal OBC vote seems to be going to the BJP.
Boss, if you're winning like this, all the vote is going.
No, but that's the core. You see, in Madhya Pradesh, you've got a 50% OBC vote, 21% tribal vote. If I get a majority of that, I'm home. I don't need anything else.
I want to come now to the Malwa region. This is the biggest region of Madhya Pradesh. 55 seats up for grabs here. This includes the area of Indore, Jhabua, Mandsaur, Neemach, Rajgarh, Ratlam and Ujjain. In these 55 seats, coming up on your screen, the biggest region of Madhya Pradesh, 41 for the BJP, 14 for the Congress. The Congress down from 28 the last time, the BJP up 15 seats from the last time. A whopping. People thought Madhya Pradesh would be a tight battle. The India Today Axis My India poll projects a 10% gap between the BJP and the Congress in the region of Malwa.
Rahul, just as a piece of trivia, this is the original Jansangh area. You see, Malwa used to be, Jansangh shuru kahan se hui? In the 1950s, this is where they won their first seat. This has been a relatively, you could say saffronized citadel of the BJP if there was ever one. I still recall, and that's what I got it back. That's why I'm very careful of Madhya Pradesh. 93 election, I travelled in Times of India across the state, and I thought there was a Ram wave. That election went to the Congress because the Congress was very united. But in every other election that I've travelled through Malwa, you can sense that this is BJP country. And therefore, this was where the BJP's made a terrific comeback compared to what they were in 2018. Something has changed.
This is election management magic. This is the school of Amit Shah.
And if these numbers are right, you've got to give Mr. Shah full credit because, as I said, 40th over, Congress appeared ahead.
No,
Shivraj Singh Chauhan, by putting out the Ladli Behna scheme when it mattered.
Go back to that Australia versus Afghanistan match. It seemed Afghanistan was going to win. Somehow Australia pulled it back and won in the end. They seem to have done that in Madhya Pradesh.
So who's Glenn Maxwell, Shivraj Singh Chauhan or Amit Shah?
So both, you have to give credit to the manager and to Shivraj Singh Chauhan as well. His Ladli Behna scheme obviously was a game changer. And I'll show you when I look at the gender-wise breakup, you'll see what impact it had.
But I want to also, small point. We keep saying Ladli Behna. It's not as if Shivraj discovered the woman voter in March 2023. You see a series of his schemes. His schemes for the last 20 years have been directed at women.
And this is when the party wasn't projecting him too much.
You see,
they tried to push him down and he's bounced back.
No, that's why, you see, in the 40th over, what happened? 40th over, Congress looked like it was winning. After Karnataka, Kamal Nath and all were already, in the mood to celebrate. The BJP thought, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, like Bomai, hum yahan phas jayenge, anti-incumbency against the Chief Minister of fatigue.
BJP was saying that people are bored with Shivraj.
Ye bored word, you see, there is no word like bored in politics. Ye bored word kya? Thakavat pe aap vote nahi dete, aap gusse pe dete hain. There was no anger against him. There was thakavat. My belief is, BJP, some leaders in the center, sorry to say this, thought this was an opinion to get, time to get rid of the last leader of the Advani-Vajpayee era. So Shivraj Singh Chauhan's name he was even in the first list. They were not even willing to listen to some of, what his view. By the time the second list came, and this is where you give credit to the BJP, they realized कि Shivraj का चलता है, ऐसा इतना बुरा नहीं है. They were able to course correct. Second list, Shivraj got his way. And suddenly Shivraj was on posters. When you see Mr. Modi's speeches in September, Rahul, वो शिवराज का नाम नहीं ले रहा था. By October, he had Shivraj next to him. तो ये भी है 40. ये सब गुरुजी जो है ना हमारे, ये 40 ओवर के बाद कोर्स करेक्ट करते हैं.
But that just shows you're smart tactically.
Give them credit.
Rahul Verma.
I think we should sort of hold on saying certain things because these 3 states have gone against the expectations which we had 2 months back. right? Chhattisgarh became really close. Rajasthan, everyone was thinking BJP has an edge, and here everyone was thinking Congress has an edge.
And Rahul bhai, we are also outliers compared to other channels.
Yeah.
Other channels seem to be giving a much tougher race, if I'm not mistaken, in Madhya Pradesh.
And if BJP is managing to roam things in Madhya Pradesh, they are surely failing in Rajasthan. Right?
But am I right that the other channels are all saying it's a tight race?
They're all. But then, you know, your methodology, I mean, India Today is...
No, uska home state hai. As he said, wo ghar nahi ja payega.
But nobody is watching. I just looked at the concurrent data.
On Twitter, only India Today
it's
exit polls is trending.
Twitter,
Or
it's
X.
like 20x.
What is your concurrent data
No,
now?
it's 20x. So we are at, forget what the exact, it's 20x of the nearest rival. And at this time, and this is an important number because this is not a projection, it's an actual number, Rajdeep. If you add up the number of people watching all the other competitor channels and just keep India Today on the side, all the competition doesn't add up to the number of people watching India Today. So that's domination. You know, that's like...
So we are a bit like the BJP in Madhya Pradesh today.
Aise nahi bolo. It's just, it's also
Today.
humbling. No, because if you get it wrong, then they'll all come.
Arey yaar, live in the moment.
They'll all be flinging
Kal
various
kisne
things
dekha
on the
hai?
screen. So we just want to keep it real because as Rahul Verma just pointed out, this is quite contrary to what the narrative was, and therefore it's quite unexpected. You know, it's very different from what you would have expected.
No, Preeti, I'm going to say this. Preeti Chaudhary and I came back from Madhya Pradesh and said BJP is ahead. No, 1 minute. In a tight race. In a tight race.
Can I show the numbers?
I'm willing to concede. I said in a tight race,
What
BJP is
tight race?
ahead. So did she.
You know,
So did she. But let me tell you this.
Panditri is 2020. Once it goes right, everybody wants to claim credit. If it goes wrong,
Rahul, my problem is what? Local journalists and government
Everyone
officials.
gave Congress.
Congress jeet raha hai.
Acha, okay.
Everyone gave
So, you know, if you...
This is wishful thinking.
Okay, if you were fabulously enthusiastic and you've already done the maths by adding up the regions, you know what I'm going to say. But if you are slightly less enthusiastic and want me to do the numbers for you, here it is. Remember, in the last election, the Congress had 114 on counting day. The BJP had 109. They both had roughly 41% of the vote share. So that's the baseline number. Congress slightly ahead, the BJP slightly behind. So here is the vote share numbers for the state of Madhya Pradesh. This was predicted to be a furiously fought contest and a very tight fight. But if the battle is largely between the Congress and the BJP, and that there is a 6% gap between the BJP and the Congress, that is a sweep. That's not tight, that's not close, that's not a furious contest. That is game, set and match, Mamaji. 47% votes for the BJP, 41 for the Congress. No wonder even the Gen AI face of Kamal Nath is looking glum. 41 for the Congress, 46 for the BJP, 6% for the BSP. This is a phenomenal turnaround in the fortunes of the BJP in the Hindi heartland state of Madhya Pradesh. Let's now translate this into numbers for you. The Congress in a 230-seat assembly expected to bag between 68 and 90. The BJP expected to be safely past the majority number, 140 to 162. And with this, the emergence of Shivraj Singh Chauhan in a very significant way. In Delhi, there were leaders who were trying to clip his wings, trip him over. If this is the way it looks, Mamaji and his team will be dancing, they'll be singing, they will be delighted. This is not a tight win, Rajdeep. This is a landslide.
6% is a huge percentage.
This is back to what
Safely he would cross, BJP would cross 150 mark. And this would also mean, you know, end of Congress, not in this election, but time to come. Yeah. Remember, because Mr. Kamal Nath and Digvijay Singh, they both are past 70, and there is no, you know, young leadership that's there. So probably it will take Congress a couple of elections to, you know, come up again.
You know, it may be, if these numbers hold, he's right, there will be a generational change. There are leaders. It's not as if they're not there. The likes of Jitu Patwari and others have been waiting for their opportunity. But look what's happened. One, Shivraj has done virtually what if these numbers hold, what he's done 10 years ago in 2013, near two-thirds majority. But Rahul, interesting, you've given us 3 verdicts today. Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh. What's the common factor? And that's where, you know, it's quite stunning what I've seen. All 3 states, the chief ministers are being elected back. I mean, with varying margins. In hung assembly, either way, the sitting chief minister is ahead of his rival. We thought, or many of us thought, anti-incumbency is the dominant theme. What's happened? it's been in a way softened by these welfare schemes and freebies, whether it's Ladli Behna in Madhya Pradesh, whether it's Chiranjeevi in Rajasthan, whether it's the farmer schemes in Chhattisgarh. So people have weighed options and maybe they trust these leaders. Trust जो होता है ना, वो politics में बहुत बड़ी चीज होती है. You trust Shivraj Singh ji, वो पैसा आपने.
But Rajdeep, it's happened before. 2012, you had Prakash Singh Badal in a state which was prone to incumbency, Punjab. He comes back, breaks that, the thing. Then in 2016, you had Jayalalitha who came back, Tamil Nadu. Then 2021, you had your friend from Kerala, Pinarayi Vijayan, who came back.
Ma'am, one thing. In the what has happened? Himachal Pradesh, BJP lost.
Yes.
Sitting Chief Minister, Karnataka, BJP lost.
True, but
and there was suddenly a sense that anti-incumbency is back. Now, if these results hold, and it's still a big if, because Rajasthan, some channels are giving the BJP, Chhattisgarh is close, but clearly Madhya Pradesh is one-sided. It means that an incumbent who's trusted, who has been a proven, जो है ना, जिसे कहते हैं कि वो हमने उसको परखा है, और उसको परखने के बाद हमको लगता है यार वो हमारा काम कर देता है. My sense is they are willing to stay with it, even though at the local level, huge levels of corruption. Let's be clear, the Patwari scam, all kinds of paper leaks in Madhya Pradesh have taken place. Uske bawajood, if you win a 2/3, what does it also say about the quality of the opposition? I think Madhya Pradesh is as much about Shivraj as it is, if these numbers hold, about the Congress. The Congress had the same faces, doing the same politics and not being able to give a new narrative to the people of Madhya Pradesh. You can't just win saying मुझे हटाया गया in 2020, गलत तरीके से हटाया गया, मुझे वोट दो. वोट ऐसा नहीं मिलता है. You need new faces with new energies and ideas.
Rajdeep, first of all, your words would be very comforting to KCR. And second thing is...
Yes, they will be. Yes, they will be, yes.
And
tomorrow we'll have KCR.
It's not that Congress did not try. You look at Madhya Pradesh, the Congress under Kamal Nath, avoided a kind of this Hindu-Muslim narrative. There was no polarization. He projected himself as a very effective Hanuman Bhakt, etc. They tried everything in the book. It's just that it didn't work.
Do you know that he fought with Sunil Kanogolu, the election analyst of the Congress, refused to accept the candidate list that was given to him by Sunil, saying, no, I don't accept any surveys. I know my politics. Now, I'm saying Kamal Nath is also a tested politician. Let's be fair to him. He's won, 10, 11 elections, which is no mean feat. But if he loses this election, which was an election to win 6 months ago, questions will have to be asked whether his strategy went horribly wrong. I mean, you play this soft Hindu politics. नहीं, मेरे पास महाकाल बाबा है, तुम्हारे पास ये है, मैं भी अपने हमारा what was it called, पुजारी cell शुरू करा, वो सब ठीक है. You can't out Hinduize the BJP. That is not going to happen. That's not going to happen. You have to convince the tribals, the poorer people of the state, like Gaylord did, कि मैं तुम्हारा साथी हूँ. That is how you win an election, according to me, at the state level.
We're joined at this time live on this broadcast by the Home Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Narottam Mishra. He's been controversial in many ways, but if the BJP ends up at 152, which is the middle level of that range, and the Congress at 76, Narottam bhai, आप तो हमारे स्टूडियो में आके डांस करोगे फिर ये तो बहुत बड़ी जीत हो गई. लोग सोच रहे थे फंसा रहेगा, हो सकता है कांग्रेस आगे रहे, यहाँ तो बीजेपी की स्वीप है मध्य प्रदेश में.
अब मैंने प्रारंभ में ही कहा था राहुल भाई कि क्लीन स्वीप करेंगे हम. हमारे पास में मोदी जी का चेहरा है, शिवराज सिंह जी के काम, मोदी जी के काम, जनहितैषी काम, अब एक साथ जब आ जाते हैं तो क्लीन स्वीप होता ही है. और भारतीय जनता पार्टी क्लीन स्वीप करेगी.
नरोत्तम जी, चेहरा शिवराज जी का या चेहरा मोदी जी का या डबल इंजन?
मोदी जी का चेहरा है, डबल इंजन है, शिवराज सिंह जी भी हैं. पहले भी हम पिछले 20 साल से इसी तरह से लड़ रहे हैं.
नहीं, पर फिर क्या था कि पर ये तो चर्चा थी कि 3-4 महीने या तो शिवराज जी को बदलना है या किसी और नेता को प्रोजेक्ट करना है. शिवराज जी के पोस्टर भी नहीं बड़े लगे थे. केवल आखिरी महीने में मैंने शिवराज जी के पोस्टर देखे. बाकी तो आपके 12 के 12 लीडर, आपका चेहरा, उनका चेहरा, सब एक साथ थे. कुछ तो बदल हुआ है.
नहीं, सामूहिक नेतृत्व तो प्रारंभ से ही है और ऐसा नहीं है मध्य प्रदेश में हुआ है. आप 5 प्रदेश देख सकते हैं, उसी तरह से चेहरे लगाए गए हैं 5 प्रदेश के अंदर. और ये मैं मानता हूं कि वास्तव में मोदी जी का व्यक्तित्व है, उनका ऑरा है, उनके काम है, शिवराज सिंह जी के काम है. और डबल इंजन सरकार लोग चाहते हैं, इसलिए डबल इंजन सरकार आपके सामने है, आपके एग्जैक्ट पोल में है.
छा गए सर, आप आइए, जश्न मनाइए, तो बड़ी जीत है आपकी। अगर आप जीत गए तो बहुत बड़ी जीत होगी ना। तो मिश्रा इज सो एक्साइटेड
है कि हम जीतेंगे 100%।
आप मुख्यमंत्री के तो रेस में नहीं है ना?
नहीं, मैं नहीं हूँ।
श्योर?
जिस बेल्ट से आप आते हैं, दतिया की सीट है सर आपकी, वहां पर जो पूरा चंबल एरिया है, उधर जो ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया है, कितना प्रभाव पड़ा आपको, क्या लगता है?
बहुत प्रभाव पड़ा है, बहुत प्रभाव पड़ा है। मेरा नहीं, सिंधिया जी का पड़ा है, मेरा कोई प्रभाव नहीं है।
अरे वाह, क्या बात है। Narottam Mishra being humble on a day of a massive victory. That's interesting as well. Thank you very much, sir, for joining us.
Thank you.
I told you earlier that the magic of the India Today post-poll study is that we're able to give you a seat-by-seat breakup of every single seat in the state. And what that means is I can also drop a power map, which means I can look at what the map of Madhya Pradesh is likely to look like if these trends hold versus what the map of Madhya Pradesh looked like in the last assembly elections. Let me fire up EI 3.0. As I said, this magical analytics engine really kicks into action on Sunday, counting day, as the live numbers are coming in. But to get a sense of the kind of capabilities our analytics engine has, I'll just fire up the Madhya Pradesh data for you. And you'll be able to see the kind of breakup that, forget it, no Indian channel for sure, no international network can do either. On the exit poll data, projecting for the first time the new power map of Madhya Pradesh. If you see, and I can isolate just the BJP seats as well, a sweep of saffron in all the 7 regions of Madhya Pradesh. There's no region of Madhya Pradesh, including in areas where the Congress had done really well, where the Congress is ahead. The Congress down 38 seats from the last time, 276. And if you see, they are really isolated to pockets. It's the BJP that has done phenomenally well across the state. I can compare the last power map of Madhya Pradesh with the current one. So spend some time. Can the camera zoom in, please, so you can see it much better then. On this side of the screen is the 2018 assembly election results, where there's a lot of blue spread across. On the right side is the new map of Madhya Pradesh. This is what Madhya Pradesh is likely to look like on Super Sunday if the India Today Access My India data holds. And if you see the power map, there is a very big, strong saffron surge across the state of Madhya Pradesh. And one of the reasons why the data is what it is because of the way women voters in Madhya Pradesh have voted. Remember, the Ladli Bahena scheme was seen by Shivraj Singh Chauhan as being a game changer. I want to walk across and show you how the women of Madhya Pradesh have voted. It started at 1,000 rupees, went up to 1,250. If there is any one scheme which changed the course of this election, it has to be Ladli Bahena. There's a problem there because in some senses, while of course there's empowerment, there's gender welfare, it's also a freebie, money coming straight into your account, which is what the BJP doesn't want to do, but that's the scheme that seems to have swung this election in their favor. See this data very carefully. The Congress has 41% male votes. They had 41% male votes last time. They have 40% female votes, which is one more than the last time. So the Congress roughly is where they were. So they haven't done badly in Madhya Pradesh. The big difference is that 50% of the women voters of Madhya Pradesh, that's 10 more than the Congress. 50% of the women voters have voted for the BJP. That's up 7% from the last time. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the single biggest reason, all panditry aside, this is the single biggest reason the BJP is sweeping Madhya Pradesh. They've gained amongst the men as well. From 40, they've gone up to 44. That's a big lead. But if there was one reason that you're looking for, if you're wondering, this is not what I thought would happen in Madhya Pradesh, this is the reason why Madhya Pradesh seems to have voted the way it has. 50% women voters saying they voted Rajdeep for the BJP. This basically is good news and bad news. Good news because, hey, you won Madhya Pradesh. Bad news because it's essentially a revdi.
No, the question is, what is the question we'll debate? What is a revdi? Is giving 1,200 rupees to a woman revdi? Because, they'll say they are the ones who run the house, they need the monies. In fact, the BJP is saying we'll raise it to 3,000. The posters in Bhopal are saying, abhi to 1250 diye hain, 6 महीने बाद देखिएगा हम आपको 3,000 देंगे. Now I want to know, Chetan writes a lot on this, when the Prime Minister says when the Congress does it, it's a revdi. When the BJP does it, is it a revdi or is it women's welfare? How do we see it? A free mobile phone in Rajasthan, is that a revdi to women? Is 1,250 rupees a month a revdi to women? I think we need to, understand what is a revdi.
Okay, so let's dissect what is a revdi. A revdi is a sweet which is not a very expensive sweet and not a very consequential sweet. Like you don't give revdis as gifts or have them in Diwali. It's a very basic sweet, right? The idea is it's something inconsequential you're giving. Now, in that sense, having a monthly payment, it's not inconsequential. But at the same time, fiscal responsibility is something, even though whether it wins election or doesn't win election, that's a separate issue. But I think as responsible citizens, one needs to understand, where does this stop? Well, why not 10,000? Why not 20,000?
It's going to happen.
Okay, I just want to come in.
I mean,
I
is there
this
nothing
work. So I've spent, I've talked to enough women there, and one must understand and maybe make a demarcation on what is revdi and what's a welfare scheme. Why I do feel that this is actually a welfare scheme is because it's not given to every woman. So it's 2.5 lakh per annum. If your salary is less than that, then you can access this scheme.
Preeti, it is 1.21 crore women out of 2. It is almost 50% of Madhya Pradesh's women.
I'll give you an example. Rajdeep. I see it as a welfare scheme, but as you get closer to Bhopal and you talk to the bureaucrats there, they've thrown up their hands. Most of them who talk to us off record say that we've stopped every other scheme to fund this particular scheme in Madhya Pradesh. It's a state which is already neck deep in debt. So yes, you get all of that. But when I look at it on ground, it changes a woman's life. You must understand that. And that's why we see that 50% vote share for the Bharatiya Janata Party in the tribal belt. If there are 3 women in the household, 2 of them will get 1,250 rupees per month. The other one, if she say the grandmother, is getting an elder widow pension. So that is 600, which they promised they're going to put it up to 1,000. It changes the dynamic of that household.
I'm not so sure it changes any dynamic. The man in the house, Madhya Pradesh, dare I say, is still a very male-dominated state. In fact, one of
like every state.
No, not like.
States.
No, sorry, ma'am. Though in Madhya Pradesh, in fact, one of the angry comments I got was from men, ये सब महिलाओं के लिए करते हैं, हमारे लिए क्यों नहीं करते? And they will take the money from the woman if necessary. The fact is, I'm not sure whether it's going to transform the lives of women in Madhya Pradesh.
The writing is on the wall.
It doesn't empower you.
The fact is the writing is on the wall. It's 50% of women have voted for the BJP. So don't say they don't have agency.
No, but it doesn't empower you.
They do have agency.
I don't believe it empowers the woman. I think a woman is empowered when she gets something far more tangible.
Women in Madhya Pradesh, if you're looking at agency,
I would prefer girls' education. Please give free girls' education right across the board. That will empower a woman much more than 1,250
But Rashi, this is textbook conversation. You put hear me out. You put 1,250. Okay, I'll tell you a household that I spent in, a tribal woman's household. She didn't have money to educate her daughter because वो बस का पैसा कहाँ से आएगा? क्योंकि वो I was in Mahakoshal. Where will this woman go to her college? College छोड़ दिया. Now this money comes in, she takes out 500 and she gives it to her daughter.
No, I'm not saying.
Women in Rajasthan
it's a cash handout, ma'am.
Women in rural Rajasthan have as much or less agency than women in Madhya Pradesh.
But whether you give it to a man or a woman, it's essentially a cash handout. It's not something just a minute.
Right.
For example, you're saying in Karnataka, one of the Congress's guarantees, which is that women get free bus rides. Yes, as a result, a woman might. To my mind, a free bus ride for a woman gives a woman far greater autonomy to move around than she would otherwise have. The 1,250 cash handout, in my view, is a cash handout which you could be given to the woman or the man. Essentially, you're giving it to, because you recognize people at the bottom of the pyramid, even 250 rupees make a difference to their life.
So can we get to the
That's what's happened. Whether you call it a revdi or not, it's a cash handout.
The BJP has been in power for 20 years. If they could not build school or they could not provide, transport to a woman or a girl going to college, etc., whose fault is it? And nothing comes free. This is all, it's not just taxpayers, money. It is also people, ordinary people, poor people who are paying GST. Who are paying GST. Even if you buy a 5 rupee, biscuit, you're paying GST for it.
No, but that's a rhetorical argument because in the end, electorally, it has worked.
It has worked today, it has worked.
It is financially disastrous and there can be no...
Mr. Rahul covered, are you aware what is the debt?
No, but may
I just defend of Madhya Pradesh? 56,000 rupees.
So what's another?
That's one individual.
No, so can I just defend this compared to, let's say, old pension? Where I have a huge problem is going back to the old pension scheme, which is essentially ensuring government employees are on your side throughout. At least there I agree with Preeti, the woman in the house getting 1250 may give her even more agency than she has today, and all good for that.
Also, it's
all good for that.
Can I make a point?
And it is
Yes, Rahul.
it is also easy. You just send the money, the chances of corruption are much lower.
DBT में तुरंत जाता है.
भेज दिया, account transfer हुआ, there is no middleman.
No, in fact,
Is it a game changer if everybody is giving it?
Yeah.
yes, Rahul.
I think we are making the same mistake, which is let's not basically try to explain the entire election outcome by one single factor.
Oh, sure.
What is happening in Madhya Pradesh, if these numbers are correct, it's a landslide victory for BJP. It's higher than even perhaps 2013. Meaning that many things might have worked
Not
in their
just
favor. This has given some additional benefit for sure, but other things also worked, right? And
No, according to me, the other thing is the other side. If these numbers are good, I compare, Rahul. In any election, you are going to compare who's on the other side as well, right? Kamal Nath is not some... If these election numbers are right, I keep saying this because Kamal Nath may tomorrow turn around and say everything that you said was horribly wrong about me. Because he's been around, as you said, for 30, 40 years, tried, tested. Digvijay Singh had his 10 years as chief minister. You don't even now put him on his posters because you think I put Digvijay Singh on posters. I'm reminded of Bantadhar and the roads being, all the holes in the road. So the Congress in Madhya Pradesh is going to need a generational change, right? The BJP might have needed it if Shivraj had lost. Will the Congress do that? You see, the Congress has
but
to...
they have no option.
Right.
If this is the result,
Congress
Kamal Nath
tried
can pack his bags and go home.
PCC chief after Digvijay Singh lost, and all three, one of them was Arun Yadav, a very young face, Kantilal Bhuria, they all failed. Then they brought Kamal Nath.
see one difference between Rajasthan. If Rajasthan is a swing state, Madhya Pradesh has all characteristic of a dominant party
BJP
state,
yes.
right? BJP has been there in power for 18 years. In last,
Absolutely.
like 75 seats have not been won by Congress in last 3 elections. So given the numbers, BJP has some kind of organizational and popularity advantage.
In fact, you're absolutely right, Rahul. It's a bit like Gujarat, except for the 2018 election in Madhya Pradesh and to some extent a 2012 election in Gujarat. 2017 election in Gujarat. These were the 2 elections where the opposition came close. Beyond that, Madhya Pradesh, whether it in general elections or in state election, I think there was one general election where the Congress did reasonably well. Otherwise, it's a BJP ruled state. I think Rahul makes a great point. It's a BJP dominant state.
Okay, what we want to do now is take the caste-wise breakup of the vote share of Madhya Pradesh, and what this will do is give you a sense of how the different communities in Madhya Pradesh have voted. So I'll take you through the main castes and the breakup for these castes, and then that will give you a sense of where BJP's leads are largely coming from. So coming up on your screen now, the caste-wise breakup of Madhya Pradesh, and I'll start as always with the Dalit votes, the SC votes, which is about 16% of Madhya Pradesh. The Congress having 45% of them, the BJP 41, that's up 4 from the last time. Amongst the tribals, who constitute 21% of the state, 43% voted for the BJP, 46% for the Congress. Congress leading amongst the tribals and the Dalits. Amongst the OBCs, and looking at some OBC categories and some are in the next sheet, but 56% voting for the BJP, 32% voting for the Congress. That's a big gap there. Amongst the Brahmins, who are about 6% of Madhya Pradesh, 58% voting for the BJP, 30% voting for the Congress. The BJP gaining 16% from the last poll. Can I come to the second sheet, please? Because when you look at the voters in the general categories, 9% of the voters are general category voters, out of whom 57% say they voted for the BJP. The Congress had 81% of the Muslim vote. Muslims are about 7% of Madhya Pradesh. The Congress had 81% of the Muslim vote. The BJP had 48% of the others who were left. So a very, very strong performance by the BJP in Madhya Pradesh. So this is really kahin khushi, kahin gum. Congress with the edge in Chhattisgarh, Congress potentially could be in the lead in Rajasthan. One-way traffic in Madhya Pradesh.